I don't understand law, as it were, because it is finite, you know, and I don't really go, sort of, I can't express it and dig that scene, you know. I don't know, you know, it seems just like me, as somebody once said, Kafka-esque. It's just bureaucracy, and they get going, and then that, you know.
While the appeal is being made, John and Yoko will remain in the United States. Their lawyer suspects this will take at least a year and is hoping that the laws governing marijuana by then will change, thus changing the nature of their case. Marjorie Margolis, WNBC TV News. John and Yoko Ono, accompanied by their lawyer Leon Wilds, announced to no one's surprise that they intend to fight the court's decision. The Lennons say all they feel at this point is frustration. Besides losing their court case, they've had no luck in locating Yoko Ono's daughter, Kyoko.
Triumph.
We're always getting leads.
No lands, boundaries, passports,
Indeed,
only other people. Their flag,
not
a
need
white
to be
tissue.
brought.
People of Newtopia are ambassadors of the country. As two ambassadors of Newtopia, we ask for diplomatic immunity and recognition in the United Nations for our country and its people. Utopian Embassy, 1 White Street, New York, New York.
What does the flag mean? What does the flag
North Vietnamese troops stormed south across the demilitarized zone and eastward from Cambodia towards Saigon. By last weekend, it was clear that the invasion was no mere token demonstration. There was no sign that their grip on the country was slackening. So for the first time since 1968, American planes began massive bombing raids against the north, against Hanoi and Haiphong. As a result, now that the war has been
Well, the South Vietnamese should go ahead and take it over now. They get beat, they get beat.
Does it matter if the South Vietnamese are beaten by the North?
Not to me. Not to me.
It doesn't matter. They sit on exposed fire bases like this one 30 miles northeast of Saigon. They go on routine patrols into the jungle. They come back, drink beer, and count the days till they go home.
I want to see your money. I gave you a quarter. I'm gonna get you back though. My word of honor. May the big ring. Get out of here! There ain't no ranger in the sky with this stuff.
Really accomplished much.
Do you think American troops should be fighting?
Because I feel sorry for the people that died and everything over here, but I can't reach them. So personally, no, I don't care who wins.
Do you think the South Vietnamese army can look after themselves?
I don't think so. I don't like being here. I don't like nothing about it myself. So I don't think they can hold. I think as soon as we leave, they'll just come all the way down. They're already coming from the south. They're coming from the north. They're coming from Cambodia. So sooner or later, they're just going to take the whole thing. It's just a matter of time.
Does it matter if South Vietnam is defeated by the North?
I guess it does. And it'll matter to some.
Too late. Too late. The B-52 strike will hit in minutes. Higher headquarters cancels the mission at the last minute because some of the men are still on the ground. Shortly after the incident, at another landing zone, Gordy Lee, John Schultz, Carlton Dudley and others in Second Squad discussed the events.
Today I found out what happened when the whole company refused to do something.
What happened?
Puts everything in a big fat bind. And I'll tell you, somebody's heads are going to roll when this whole thing is over with. I don't know whose, maybe mine, but heads are going to roll, and it's about time. You can't do what we did this morning and get away with it. We happen to be lucky, but I am not going to try that one again. I don't feel that lucky.
We don't know what's going to happen. It doesn't really make any difference. We're just going to refuse to do it. Because it's, you may be in jail, but you won't be dead.
If he told me to do it again, I'd walk in front, I'd just flat refuse. They'd bust me, of course. That don't mean nothing either. All it is money. I'm just in the Army to spend my time and get out. I ain't got no use for the Army.
I got a wife I'm going to go home and see. I've got a wife I'm going to go home and see. And he keeps pulling stuff like that. He's downright, in my opinion, telling me that you ain't going home, because that's what it amounts to.
Almost 2 months later, Captain Rice reflects on the events of that day on the road.
Well, I did have a couple of people, 3 or 4, that said they were not going down. More or less said they didn't want. They never told me. They did not tell me they won't go down the road, but from what I gathered, they said they weren't going down the road. Okay, well, that's no problem. If they want to sit there by themselves, it's fine, because the rest of the company did move out. And as far as I could see, everyone was moving. Of course, I moved on up to get up near the point, too, so I could see exactly what was going on. But as I look back, the people were following me up until the time we got the word to turn back. I will say this, had to walk all the way down the road, had we walked down the road and not been ambushed, it would have been a very good tactic. Had we walked down the road and got ambushed, it wouldn't have been so good. We'll never know.
The Vietnam War with Walter Cronkite.
A new and quieter mission is given to Charlie Company, Palace Guard, protecting division headquarters. Second Squad awakes leisurely at 9 o'clock one morning.
Morning, Gene.
Morning.
How's your back?
Huh?
How's your back?
Pretty good.
Sergeant Dunnick, who is expecting to get a job as supply sergeant back at the base camp, is still in the field. He believes it's punishment for leading the rebellion on the road.
The mosquitoes did me a job, man. Wow. They ate me up.
Mosquitoes?
Yeah. They didn't get you? Did me a job and a half, man. You know what?
Insects bother Second Squad more than the enemy on Palace Guard, for there are only a few Viet Cong in the area and no North Vietnamese. These are long, lazy days. The work is less rigorous, the patrol shorter, and the men have more time to relax, to catch up on sleep, play cards, listen to the radio, and especially time to think, privately, about themselves and the world they're in. Most, like John Schultz, see their roles as soldiers as part of a job that has to be done. They support the war, however demanding it is on them. But there are others in Charlie Company who question the killing. A popular song, Reflections of My Life, is playing on Armed Forces radio. It reflects the mood of some of the men.
The world is a bad place, a bad place, a terrible place to live. Oh, but I don't want to die.
Spec 4 Richard Howe is a combat medic who has shown his courage in 5 months in the field. He would rather be home in Bloomington, Indiana, studying art, getting married, and settling down. Doc Howe is a medic rather than a rifleman because he doesn't want to kill anyone.
I think my only gripe right now is that, see, you were supposedly withdrawing, right? And, well, I figured since we're going home in the long run, why don't we just sort of take it easy, you know? Don't go out looking for trouble, just sort of, you know, maybe sit down. And if they come to us, we'll fight maybe, you know. But going out looking for trouble, I mean, and wasting more lives for just time's sake, it, to me, is just absurd. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. It could be. I like to say that I won't, you know, fire or shoot anybody. But then you always got the little thing back in your mind, well, what if all of a sudden one day there's a gook and he's got his AK pointed at you? I mean, wow. If I ever do have to kill somebody, I think I'd go insane afterwards. So. Because a conscience thing, wow, I killed somebody. Oh, wow. I just hope it never happens.
After 9 months with Charlie Company, Spec 4 Glenn Hindley has become an anti-war advocate, taking an extreme position for a soldier. Hindley is resisting.
Well, right now I'm in a mortar platoon. I'm sort of a bystander. I sit back and watch most of the stuff because